Right, good evening everybody. Welcome to the Invictus Formula One League. It's round number 6. It's at the Suzuka circuit in Japan. I'm joined once again by Snake for yet another Invictus commentary. How are you doing this evening?
Very well, thank you. And how are you?
Yeah, not bad, not bad. Yeah, it's been an interesting build up to the race, but we won't go into that. uh, yeah,
Yeah,
we've
let's not.
Yeah, we've got 15 drivers here this evening, and the return of last season's third place driver in the standings, Foxy Red, who's racing this evening, and also the return of Jarjo, and well, all the big guns are here. The top 4 in the championship: Brady, Charles, Gamer, and Sam. How do you see this one going tonight?
Well, there's a few newbies in here tonight. Be very interested to see. Obviously, I think Game is the one to beat because he's had some really good performances lately. But well, there is something that he did recently. I don't know if you want to mention it or not.
I was
I'll leave
literally
that with
you were setting me up perfectly for it then. I was about to say, yeah, Gamer has been absolutely unstoppable lately, both in this league and the No Assist League that he recently joined. However, on Monday at this circuit in the No Assist League, he did crash out the race. So it's the first sign in a long time that he's actually human. And maybe that'll give the driver some hope.
Yeah. Yeah, or if they can find the pace, maybe it'll be a track that suits them, and who knows?
So if drivers are out on track, I'm seeing who is going to be starting the lap probably first. I reckon it's actually going to be Sam. So follow Sam round. Of course, those with a decent enough memory will remember at Singapore, Sam didn't actually set a lap time, so maybe he's eager to get out on track this time to avoid that happening again.
Yeah, he was our driver in the day in the end. Quite deservedly. See what we can do around here.
Yep, following round, he's currently second in the championship. He's not shown terrific outright speed at any track this season, but he's just consistently been picking up the results, and he keeps doing that. He's going to be in there with a shout until the last race.
Oh yeah, I mean, because if you end up being the fastest, it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to win all the time. It's never the case. If you have got enough pace and you're consistent enough, you'll get there as well.
Now, I could use a performance league as sort of a banker for as to what sort of lap times we should be looking for, but it was a completely wet race yesterday, so that does not help me at all in regards to this. I think lap times are expected to be maybe high 27s, low 28s, I'm not sure. It's a rough guess.
Not sure what happened, but Giorgio went into the grass early in Sector 1.
Ah, was that the reason for the yellow flag?
Yes.
Not a good start then.
Seems to be okay now and getting out of everyone's way.
Sam might be happy to see his teammate back tonight because he hasn't had him for a few races, and you know, he needs those points, and it's not Jajo again, is it?
Yeah, it's Mormon.
Getting around final corner for Sam. His opening lap time is a 1:28.5. It didn't look a perfect lap, to be honest. It looked like it was definitely time to be found there. And Brady's found some of it straight away on a 1:28.0 to go quickest. Let's follow Game around, who is definitely the one to watch. Won the last 3 races, I think it is now. So impressive stuff from Gamer, but he's up against it tonight because Brady's putting a strong time. Ryle's gone third now, also in the 28s. Gamer around the final chicane and heading towards the line. Is he about to take pole position off Brady? Yes, he is, on a 1:27.7. Well, my prediction of high 27s may not be wide of the mark as someone else goes wide of the mark, and it's TUF Shire in the Force Indy who's gravelled it.
Well, people seem to be struggling in the first sector at the minute.
Well, it's one of those old-fashioned circuits, isn't it? There's not a lot of runoff area. If you get it wrong, you're going in to the grass or the gravel.
Yeah, there's no margin for error.
Charles has gone second now, but the other Williams also into the 127s, but still a couple of tenths off Gamer, who wants to put Monday's disappointment behind him. Ooh. What's happened?
Thought Foxy Red was going to hold up Charles there, but no. Foxy Red got out of the way just in time. But yeah, nothing major.
Watch Lipensky, oh, and that is a huge moment for a 130R. I don't know why he needed to turn in so early, because 130R is pretty easy flat in these cars. He's on the soft tyre and he's going to head into the pits after that. Giorgio is on a lap after messing up his first time lap. Unsurprisingly, he's 30 seconds up through his second sector. Let's see what he can do. There's a lot of traffic he's had to make his way through, I suppose. That's the issue. If you have to do a second lap, there's a lot of people slowing down. What can Giorgio do? He goes 6th on a 128.7. I mean, Giorgio shows good pace a lot. He just seems to lack consistency from time to time. So, but interesting to see how he gets on. That's a good lap anyway. It's P6, and Sam needs a help in the constructors, because it looks like Williams are running away with it a bit. But unsurprisingly, when you've got two of the championship contenders in the car. Who's Gamer's teammate? It was Ollie, but I think he might have left the league, but I don't know who replaced him. Foxy Red's in the Red Bull. Anyone on a lap? Doesn't look like it. Charles improved actually to a 127.8, but still in second. Less than a tenth now behind Gamer though, so about one at the front.
Real Hiroshi's going to cross the line in just under 5 minutes.
Close him.
Nah, didn't count anyway.
This could be his hot lap now. Although he's gone wide already, so maybe not. Real Hiroshi looks to be struggling in that Renault.
That first corner is incredibly tricky to master.
I do love this track though. If you can hook up the lap round here, it's a really good feeling. Especially the first sector. Oh, and yeah, Real Hiroshi looks like he's really struggling. I think he'll find it tough to replicate his result from last week, where he got 4th at Singapore. But ultimately, that was really a race of attrition. And credit to him, he kept going where others struggled.
Yeah, Singapore was more of a race for survival, if you will, race of endurance. It was a long one.
Wasn't wet, thankfully.
Yeah.
Boy better knows on an outlap in even Renault's coming P10. The majority of drivers in sort of in the high 28s, low 29s. Yeah, Sam, I thought when I watched Sam's lap on board, I thought there was a lot more time in there, and that opening lap is some way off the top 3 at the moment. But now he's got that banker lap in, he could probably take a few more risks on this lap. And he's come out quite early, so he'll have time for 2 flying laps if he wants them. So I follow Sam now, who's starting his second hot lap. The championship standings coming into this race, VSR Brady took the lead, he's on 42 points. Sam on 41. Charles on down to 3rd on 38 after his retirement in Singapore, and Gamers on 36. So, but considering Gamers only been at 3 of the 5 races so far this season, that's quite incredible just how close he is to a championship lead. What can Sam do for the first sector? It's looked better on this lap, I have to say. Still doesn't look like he's an entirely confident around this track, and I feel like this is one of those tracks where confidence is key. You need to have the faith that you can throw the car in and it's going to stick. Because you can gain so much time here just by being brave. I mean, I know you're not the greatest fan of this track, but it is a real challenge, isn't it?
I like the circuit, but I've always struggled around Suzuka, particularly in Sector 1. It's tricky.
I mean, looking at the race, where would you see as the main overtaking opportunities?
I think where we're most seeing opportunities probably towards the end of the lap, sectors 2 and 3, and especially around 130R, I think. It's probably where you're going to see the overtakes.
Yeah, through 130R into that chicane, definitely.
Yeah.
Because you get this big slipstream out of Spoon Curve, you get a good exit. It really does slingshot you onto the through that section of track. I would say also, I don't know if you remember, cast your minds back a good few years, the after the two Degners, this hairpin that Sam's coming up to now, infamously where Kobayashi made loads of very ambitious overtakes, as Gamer goes even quicker, a 127.4. His pace is just unreal. And oh dear, oh no, that's a disaster. Claire Williams is going to be absolutely livid with that, because Charles had messed up his lap. I think it must have been validated somewhere. Brady was coming behind him at quite a rate of knots on his last lap, and he's hit him. And that
Nicky's crashed out. So yeah,
that has ruined Brady's last effort, and it means Gamer's guaranteed to get pole as Sam runs out of fuel as well now. James moved up to 5th at the last. Can anyone... Oh, I tell you, one person to look out for could be Ryle as Mr. X goes 9th. Ryle is 4 tenths up on his first sector time, and if he can replicate, if he can keep that going, he can put himself above Sam and maybe challenge the Williams cars. Giorgio's backed off. I think Ryle is the main one to look out for in the McLaren. He's already done a good lap in P6. Foxy Red goes 10th on their return. Mornan now up to 9th, so pushes Foxy Red out of top 10, although 11th isn't the worst place to start if it's a dry race. What can Ryle do around the last couple of corners? This looks like a good lap. And Ryle goes onto the front row of the grid. That is a turn up for the Bugs. Not many people expected that, but Ryle has gone onto the front row, and well, that really does. That will make the Williams even more angry about that. I wonder if there'll be a few words between Charles and Brady, because it was a bit clumsy between them, wasn't it?
Unfortunately, I didn't see it. There was a lot going off there. Cars crashing out, cars going wide, off the track. So yeah.
Through everything though, Gamer just, yet again, pole position, 3 tenths ahead of Ryle. He just looks unstoppable at the moment.
Yeah, fantastic lap, Gamer. Seems to me the only way it could be stopped is if the drivers behind him have a good start. It's going to be tough to beat.
Could argue in a way it's not good for Gamer having someone like Ryle next to him, because Ryle's not in the championship fight. You know, he could be prepared to take a few more risks because he's got less to lose.
Yeah.
I mean, Charles and Brady do salvage 3rd and 4th. I might be interested to check the race director just to see if there's any penalties. Sam took 5th, James Braddon 6th, Giorgio 7th. Boy Better No 8th. Mornan 9th, Mr. X 10th, Foxy Red 11th, Shio 12th, Nicky 13th. Penske in 14th, and it's Real Hiroshi who didn't set a time in the end. From what we saw of him, he looked like he was struggling. And there you have it, the top 4, it looks like it was going to be the top 4 in the Drivers' Championship, who were going to be the top 4 on the grid, but Riles well and truly spoiled that party. Interestingly, the stewards absolutely saw nothing wrong with what happened between the Williamses.
Well, seems like the stewards decided to take a day off.
Maybe they just thought, well, it's 2 Williams anyway, so they haven't exactly benefited each other. 27 laps ahead of this Suzuka circuit, and potentially a very big race in the Drivers' Championship. Gamer really could. Gamer could put himself in theoretically back up to first in Championship, which would be quite something. It looks, I'd say that sky looks potentially threatening. Maybe some rain later on. It's definitely not clear, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's overcast.
So, countdown clock has been started. And will be underway shortly. I'm going to quickly make a prediction and say I think Gamer's going to win, but...
Yeah, he's certainly the one to beat. Let's see.
5 lights. And away we go for Japanese Grand Prix. Didn't look like Gamer got the best of starts, but he seems to solve that. In fact, Ryle was under pressure from the Williams, and Charles goes round the outside of Ryle. Ryle's pushing him, just trying to make sure he doesn't get the position. Oh, and I think that's Giorgio that's gone spinning off at turn 1. And Charles has taken second off Ryle. Sam's above Brady into 4th. It looks like everyone's got through the first sort of few corners pretty cleanly, other than Giorgio. So yeah, not too bad of a start. But Gamer leads, and Charles now in second, and he'll be firmly setting his sights on that Ferrari in front. Anything caught your eye in that first sort of few corners?
Great move by Charles. Very good start by him. And well, he's closing up on Gamer now. Will he be under pressure?
Yeah, he mentioned he didn't like the fact there've been so many wet races, so he'll be loving this. Finally a chance to show what he can do in dry conditions. He did run a little wide there though in his eagerness to close up to Gamer. And he'll feel like he has a buffer behind him, because he might not expect Ryle to be able to keep up that excellent qualifying he showed early on. Oh, and Charles was Ryle behind Gamer, and no, DRS isn't activated yet, but he might not need it. Oh, and Gamer had to... He had a bit of a moment there and nearly hit the pit wall. Oh, if it was
Charles
DRS...
wants to get the job done immediately by the looks of things.
Yeah. Oh, and Gamer's sliding! Real Hiroshi's left the session. I don't know what's happened there. I think he might have disconnected.
Well, we've got a race on our hands now.
For sure. Charles really looks like he means business. He knows how good game. Oh, and Ryle's gone wide, and that allows Sam to pull alongside and take P3. And in fact, Brady might take P4 as well. Oh, and he hits the back of him. He's got to be careful. He doesn't want front wing damage, and he's also got to be careful because James is right behind him as well. Brady, the current champion. Oh, and an imminent contact. And someone going off behind as well. And look how close Charles still is to Gamer. He's right behind him. Charles will know just how good Gamer is when he gets the lead, so he won't want to allow him to do that. I don't know where to look here, because not only is Charles close to Gamer, but Brady's really close to Ryle. And James is also there, so it's kind of...
Brady might make a move here. 130
off. Is he going to try and squeeze it up the inside? Oh, that's an aggressive manoeuvre, but he's gone off the track. Oh, there's no contact.
Oh, contact.
James Braddon doesn't really know what to do here. Oh,
there's so many cars going down this straight.
Oh, I'm gonna have to go to broadcast view here just to see what happens. Owen, is that Mr. X? Mr. X is gonna go down the inside of his teammate. Oh, they've hit each other. Oh, and Ryle's lost out majorly there. He's down to 8th. And well,
that will prove costly for the McLaren team.
Shire must have had an incident as well. He's in the pits. I mean, what did you make of that move by Brady on Ryle? Do you think he should have given the place back? Do you think he gained an advantage by going off the track?
Oh, there's so much happened. I didn't see him go off the track.
Ryle's crashed out.
Oh.
Oh, it was a fantastic qualifying, but it's just been disaster in the race. And he's crashed at the exit of Degner 2. And that's the end of his race.
Unfortunate. I was really looking forward to see what he could do after this amazing qualifying session.
Fair play to Mr. X though. It's the first time we've really seen him this high up the field, and he's got to fly the McLaren flag alone now. Although there was contact.
He's trying to attack Mr. X now.
Ooh, ooh. I'll come back to that, but this is the first chance Charles might have. Has he got DRS on yet? He has. Is he going to have a go at Game Pass Gamer? Oh, and he carried so much speed into it. I thought he was going to hit the back of him. Back to James.
Mr. X.
Oh, and they made contact.
Oh, they're touching wheels.
Oh, they somehow keep it pointing forwards, and James in the end had to back off. Otherwise, he might have ended up in a wall or something.
Well, this is creating a train once again.
Yeah, I mean, the top 4 in the race are the top 4 in the championship, and now it's fair to say they've got quite the buffer, thanks to Mr. X. Oh, Mr. X there will see his stricken teammate. I wonder if is anyone going to make a move into here, Kobayashi style? No. Wow, I mean, incredible drama already. We're only on lap 4, and I'm pretty sure things are about to get tasty at the front, because Charles will get DRS. If he can get a good exit out of the final chicane, he's going to have a great run down the pit straight. Oh, he closes right up in the braking zone. He looks the more confident of the two right now. Would you agree with that?
Absolutely. Game was under pressure here.
And we've already seen Game have a couple of moments. Like, he doesn't look 100% comfortable with the car. Oh, Charles is looking. Sam hasn't really closed in on these two. I don't think he's quite got the ultimate pace that these two have. Oh, and Boy Better Known has just got past Mornan. Oh, and James is having a look, and well, I think he quite sensibly chose to back out of that in the end, because that's not really an overtaking spot. And Mr. X holds on for 5th, and I think James knows though he needs to get past this McLaren. He's got a great run coming towards the Degners. This would be brave. Yeah, he knows how much time he's losing though. That's the thing, and of course these fantastic stewards who don't know how to clear a car that's been stuck there for 2 laps.
Oh, he's going to try and go around the outside. Not quite.
Boy Better Know just keeping a watching brief behind, ready to take advantage if it should go wrong, and it wouldn't surprise me if it did, because these two have been so close to each other. I think James is the quicker driver, but just can't find a way through at the moment.
Yeah, I think a lot of drivers are struggling to overtake on this track.
Why is there a yellow flag out? TOF Shire's gone off again. He's having a nightmare race as James! Oh, that's from side by side for 130R. He's going to the outside. He's going to try and get a good exit onto the main straight. What about Charles? Is he close enough to attack Gamer? No, he's not. So we'll come back to James, who is definitely close enough to have a go at Mr. X. They're side by side coming towards turn 1. James is going to try and go around the outside. Oh, and oh, Boy Benno's lost it! He went flying into the corner, he was sideways into the corner, and oh, and It was
from the angle then, I thought he was going to go straight into the back of James then.
I think he did.
What an incident.
Oh, and James looking on the outside. Oh, still can't find a way past. That McLaren must be huge because he used to just blocking the whole track at the moment. Mr. X has just got a penalty, which is unfortunate. Yeah, I think he made slight contact with the back of James's car. He's lucky he didn't tag him into a spin as James...
Yeah, I'm surprised.
James goes late on the brakes now to try and get past Mr. X. Nicky looking to put pressure on Foxy Red as well, as having a good return. Up in 8th. Has Gamer been looking after his tyres, I wonder, because he's just starting to get a little bit of a gap over Charles. Or is Charles just stay with his tyres, cooling everything down, and then he's going to go on another attack?
Maybe he's thinking of a pit stop strategy.
Yeah.
Try and jump Gamer.
James! Oh, this nearly hits the back of Mr. X again. Oh, and Mr. X nearly went into the pit wall. He had that much oversteer. So, oh, and Shire! Oh, I thought there was going to be contact there. Ducking in and out. He's looking for a way through past this McLaren. He just can't find a way. Why is there a yellow flag in Sector 2? I don't want to look, but I kind of do. Is it still a yellow flag for... Oh, and Riles... Oh, no, Riles left. Oh, and you know what that means? No.
I think it's glitched. It's the yellow flag.
Yeah.
Riles still crashed out on track, from what I'm seeing.
Well, now Riles left. Yeah, same here. Now Riles left, there could be the slipstream glitch, which could make overtaking a little bit more difficult. Not what James wants. Oh, he's going to go for the Kobayashi! Down the inside! Oh, it's aggressive! And it might allow Mornan to get past Mr. X as well. I think James might have lost his little bit of patience there.
Yeah, some would say harsh but fair on that. It was very, very close between the two of them.
Very similar to like Kobayashi's moves back in 2011. I remember, like, I think it is fair, but it's right on the limit.
Absolutely. Yeah, made me a Kobayashi fan anyway. Watched him drive.
Oh, Charles is really close to the back of Gamer. I wonder if he tried to get past at turn 1, but he's really right behind him again. So yeah, maybe just conserving his tyres, saving a bit of fuel. And yeah, he's right there again. He just can't find a way through. Boy better knows in the pits. I wonder if he has any damage after that drift into James. Turn 1. I mean, this race has just been full. I wonder if Charles going to try a Kobayashi. Oh, he thinks about it. Oh, Gamer again. Tell you what, I've never seen Gamer's car look so twitchy before.
Yeah, it looks very vulnerable.
Sheo, who is a minute behind the next car, getting a very crucial 3-second time penalty.
Slightly wide.
Oh, and Sheo has now crashed in the same place I think that Ryle crashed. Surely this is going to be an opportunity for Charles. They're not going to go side by side for a 130R, are they? No, not quite. Although, with the way Gamer's got into the corner, it's going to open this opportunity off for Charles. He's going to go around the outside. Gamer defends the line. Oh, and Brady! What's up to Brady? Brady was up in 4th, but he's dropping. He's dropping down third. It looks like he's got front wing damage. I think he might have spun into the wall.
Yeah, he must have damage, surely. He couldn't get him around 130R.
Well, last week we saw Charles, the championship leader, have a disaster. This week it's Brady's turn, who's the new championship leader. His race has just gone really bad, and he's just got a stop-go penalty for speeding in the pit lane if you want to add insult to injury. Oh. I mean, as it stands, I think this hands Game of a championship lead. It might, or Sam. So, we had a Williams is just starting to struggle in the championship a bit, make a few errors. I don't know what happened to Brady. He was on his own, I think, on the track. So
no, I didn't see it either. Yeah.
So I think it must have been
no idea what happened to him.
Yeah, it must have been a mistake then on his own, because I don't think there's anyone around him, and as we've got a Force India just casually now parked in the track replacing that McLaren.
Yeah, that's what we need, more yellows in Sector 2.
You could have... Yeah, that Force India's even closer to the end middle of the track as well. Oh, Mr. X has gone wide. This could allow Mornan a chance to get into 5th place. I mean, Mornan's not really someone we've seen too much of, but he's just quietly kept picking up the positions as the drama's been unfolding in front of him. I mean, look, we look at the position changes. Oh, and Charles is pitting. Charles going for the undercut. Oh, he's pitted on lap 9, at the end of lap 9 for softs. That means he would have to do 18 laps on the super softs, on the softs even, to do a one-stopper. Is that possible? It's going to be touch and go, I think, if he's going for the one-stopper.
I think he'd be okay. 9 laps on super softs, is it? He's done?
Yeah.
Several drivers are out. 10 laps on the super softs. Yeah. Tyres might be one towards the end.
He's going for track position on Gamer, isn't he?
Yeah, oh, absolutely. Yeah. I think that's the aim.
Well, he's going to
close. See if Gamer will react to that.
Well, bad news for Charles is look what he's about to catch up to. I mean, good luck getting through that. There's a 4-car train. I mean, oh, Mornan nearly wiped out Foxy Red because he had a massive moment. Oh, but surely this is... I mean, if Gamer could just stay out for a few laps, I think he'll be fine. I mean, if Gamer pits now, he might come out in this traffic as well. Oh, and...
Well, Gamer has gone into the pits.
Charles has got past Nicky and he shoves his way past Mornan. Oh, Mornan going into the grass a bit there. I don't know what that was all about. Gamer's pitted as a Sam. Oh, Charles is going to be ruining. He didn't realise he'd be coming out in this.
Also quitting out on the soft tyres.
Oh, and Mr. X pits. Foxy Red carries on.
Sam's pitted also. Yep.
Oh, where is Gamer? Oh, he has jumped Gamer. Wow, Gamer must have a really poor... Oh, Mr. X is out. Wait, what? His car's got a wheel off in the pit lane.
What the hell?
And now he's just parked on his grid.
Down the straight. Yeah.
Now he's just parked on the pit. What the is going on?
You see the rolling wheel going down the pit straight?
No.
Like,
I can't see that.
What the hell?
Oh, and Gamer's got past
Foxy. Exit point of view.
Gamer's got past.
Really strange.
Gamer's got past Foxy Red up into P2, so Charles is now in the lead ahead of Gamer. It's worth noting that Foxy Red has started on medium tyres, so.
Ah.
I mean, that's that'll be
very sneaky.
Be very quick at the end of a race with new super softs. So, yeah, Sam's rejoined in 5th, but obviously Foxy Red and Nicky haven't stopped yet.
Well, Charles is on the march now. He is. Yeah. Looks like he's slightly pulling away from Gamer here.
He's going to have to look after those tyres. Gamer's got 1 lap less on them.
That's it.
But he's looked, I'd say he's looked the quicker and more composed driver of the two of them so far.
Yeah, in qualifying, he did a decent lap time. We didn't really see much, but in the race he's been very, very impressive. And so far he looks like the quickest driver of the lot.
Well, Championship leader Brady did not expect to be fighting these cars today, but he's behind Boy Bettino and Lipensky, and this is a battle for position due to Brady's mistake, which we didn't see, but we saw he had front wing damage. Oh, he's going to go. Is he going to try and get past both of them? Oh, the Renault ducked out of the slipstream very late on, and he did well to spot it. Boy Bettino's going around the outside of Lipensky. Can he manage it? Lipensky's shoving him out of road and then tries and almost hits Brady at the same time. Brady. Oh, look, Boy Better Knows going back for the move on Brady, and then he gets shoved wide. But wow, that's
I'll go get you a glass of water.
Yeah, thanks. That's
Wow, that's a lot happened through there.
That was well. Somehow they all stayed, you know, on the straight and narrow. Nothing too major. Oh, Nicky also started on the medium tyres as well. So these two haven't pitted yet. Both started on medium. So this is an important battle. Nicky right behind, going through 130R. Now he's going to duck to the inside on Foxy Red. Foxy Red defending. Oh, that's some good defending. And that's left Nicky vulnerable to Sam. Oh, and the overspeed nearly sent Sam right into the back of Nicky. And well, Nicky, I think, has made the decision that it's not worth fighting Sam. They are on completely different strategies. Well, I mean, Nicky did just let Sam through, and then Sam did his best to give him a position back. Oh, and Brady. What's going on between these three again? Brady's back in the pits. I think he got...
Wow.
And he's speeding in the pit lane as well. I wonder... Yeah, he's... Oh, dear. I don't think he's happy. I mean, there was some pretty aggressive driving in that battle, wasn't there?
Yeah, there's a lot of drivers being really defensive today. No one wants to give a position up.
Well, it's the curse of a championship leader. Charles retired at Singapore last week when he was leading the championship. Now it's the turn of his teammate Brady, who was leading the championship going into this race, and now he won't be. Retired again, so... I mean, we're pretty set. I mean, I'm interested to see what Foxy Red can do here. Will he defend against Sam, who is on a very different strategy? And Nicky just let Sam go. I don't know if Foxy Red will quite do that.
Would it be wise to let Sam go and keep up with the pace, or defend for as much as possible and keep track position?
Well, there's the yellow flag in sector 2. I don't know what that is, but well, I don't think Foxy Red could do much about it anyway.
Yeah.
Well, I'm interested to see if this is Lipensky. This is Lipensky against Boy Better Know, and it's fair to say this has been a pretty feisty battle so far. What's going to happen this time around? Oh, Lipensky. More people seem to be having trouble coming out of that final corner, getting the power down. And Boy Better Know is going to go to the outside. I don't know what's going to happen here. Oh, it's so close, wheel to wheel. Oh, I've got to say, that's actually excellent defending from the Haas driver.
Yep, well defended.
Slightly less dramatic than I was expecting. Yeah, fair play. Keeps hold of 8th place. I mean, there's some ridiculous gaps throughout the field just because there's been so much going on. I mean, barely a chance to breathe in his first 14 laps. If you don't mind, for 30 seconds, if you could take control of the action, because I need to get a drink.
Yeah, no problem. Right.
Oh, Lipensky Boy Better Know we're at it again.
Yeah, we've just seen Nicky closing down on Foxy Red.
Oh, but keep seeing this yellow flag in sector. Oh, right, that's thought there'd be an overtake there.
Yeah, yellow flag is still a thing.
Yeah.
Just won't go away.
See, Boy Better Know is a bit too far behind this time. This is the first time in a race where it's a little bit settled.
Yeah, it's died down a bit now.
I mean, to be fair, I'm kind of glad for my voice box that it did, because
Well,
it's
been entertaining. God, it's can't remember everything. So much has happened.
It looks like Sam's. I mean, Sam's almost 10 seconds behind Gamer in second, unless something goes on between the top two. But to be honest, Charles is still maintaining the gap over Gamer. He doesn't look under much pressure at the moment.
No, it seems to be very composed, under control.
Oh, that was a late call from Nicky.
Yeah. Out of nowhere.
I mean, I could understand if he was a car ahead, if he was trying to, like, make sure he didn't realise what he was doing, but... Wow, super softs for it. That should be okay, actually, because people did, lasted 9 laps on the super softs they started on, so... I
think most drivers did 9 to 10 laps on the super softs, and that was with their qualifying tyres.
And like Charles is going for track position against Foxy Red. So yeah, I think if you go for the undercut here, he should be in a good position. He's rejoined in 7th, so not too bad really. And he'll be very quick now against the likes of Morn and maybe James, although that might be a bit too much of a gap, but certainly Morn on softs could be coming to threat later on. Hello, and as Nicky says hello to his teammate who's still stranded across the track.
Oh! Boy, Berno's trying to get past Lipinski on the inside. Didn't quite work there. There was a bit of contact though.
Oh, not again.
Yeah.
These two are getting very, very feisty here. Penske's on tyres he started on. Oh, and what a good... So that's a bit of a risky one. I feel like he'd have been better off setting himself up for this run down here, to be honest. I think he kind of misjudged just how slow Lipinski was going to be.
Yeah, I think that's what it was.
But Lipinski is on us. I think he should be close to pitting soon. Lipinski, yeah. Well, called it. He fits. As does Real Hiroshi, who just gets it slowed down in time. It's proper locked up there. What? That is the most confusing corner cutting penalty I've ever seen. Did you see that?
No.
Brady's got a 3-second time penalty. It's AI driven now.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I was like, what?
Wow.
Foxy Red's still out there, so maybe he's conceding that Nicky will overtake him, but he's thinking if I can stay out here a bit longer, I can have a bit fresher super softs at the end to attack with. I'd imagine he's got his pit now because you don't want to lose too much time. Oh, Foxy Red, you know, this is his first race for, well, a long time. Maybe not so sure about the strategy, you know, because when you've been out for a long time, it's kind of almost you've got to reset everything. You've got to sort of learn everything all over again. So, it isn't easy. And to be fair to Foxy Red, he's done a fantastic job on his return. He hasn't looked, you know, like rusty at all. He's driven well. I think he stayed clear of the carnage on the whole, so... And he should rejoin in 7th when he pits. Now, just the first signs that Gamer is closing on Charles. Got down to 1.3 seconds. I wonder if... Yeah, I wonder if Gamer's deciding now is the time to attack. Now, weirdly enough, this is actually the closest battle on track at the moment because everyone seems to have spread out.
Yeah, it's there was several trains earlier and several battles. Now it's a few gaps now. Although the most important spot, first and second, it's
and two of the favourites for the championship too. So this is And this is a key race. I think this is round 6 of 10 now, so we are getting to that point of the season now where, you know, championship really does go into focus.
Well, this could be a pivotal moment in the championship.
Well, it could be as Foxy Red pits, so I'll just quickly see where Foxy Red rejoins. I think he's going to be jumped by Nicky. Depends how quickly he's gone on those medium tyres. Morning's going to get past. And so is Nicky, yep. Foxy Red's in a good position now. He can really push on those super softs. He might have even saved some fuel. So it'll be a threat later on. So back at the front, Gamer, what can he do? I mean, second's not the worst result for him. It just goes against his constant winning streak when he's driving. So, I mean, Charles has had a really good season up until Singapore, so he's shown that in the dry conditions he isn't to be underestimated.
Yeah, he's shown a lot of good pace, and Gamer now closing in slightly. If you can get in the DRS zone, it's well, I think we're going to be ready for round 2 between these two drivers.
Well, I wonder, is this lapped car going to play any part? Oh, he nearly did. Oh, we've seen that before this season, haven't we? A lapped car has had a moment and taken out a driver. We nearly saw it again there.
Yeah, it's not the first time it's happened, yeah. That could have been disastrous.
Charles would have been furious if that had happened.
It's still a broken Force India onto the bridge. Well, the stewards are taking care of that.
I mean, we've got podium interviews coming up after this. I mean, what are we going to ask Sam about the weather? Because truth be told, I've not seen much of him. He's had a very quiet race since he got past Ryle.
Some races can turn out like that, unfortunately. No one in front of you, no one behind.
One's got a penalty, that could prove crucial with Nicky only a couple of seconds behind. Oh, and Gamer...
In fact, it's... oh, go on.
I'll say Gamer might get DRS here, but I'm not so sure now.
Yeah. No, I was just saying, I feel like it's even more difficult to focus when you've got no one battling. If you can't see any cars, it's you need a lot more focus.
Well, it's quite a different tale from a week ago where Sam went through the back of the field to get third. This week it's been much more of a simple route to third.
Absolutely.
But it's again another sign of Sam just consistently being around the front of the field without necessarily having the outright pace of the likes of Charles or Gamer or Brady. But he just seems to have stayed out of trouble, whereas Charles and Brady have had races, obviously Brady like today and then Charles at Singapore, and things haven't gone well. For Sam, he's just consistently got the points. His worst result was 5th at Silverstone. I mean, if your worst result in a season turns out to be 5th, you know you're doing something right. So Gamer looking for that DRS, just a little bit too far away at the moment. We could potentially have a battle for 5th very shortly though, because as I predicted, Nicky is closing in to Morning on those super soft tyres.
Yes.
Interestingly, Giorgio's made 3 stops this race. This really hasn't been a... Giorgio's clearly got good pace, but he just, over a full race, he just seems to make just too many errors. Nicky is definitely within DRS range, no doubt about it. Morden's going to have some defending here to do. He's had a good race, really, up in 5th place. think he's potentially on for his best results of the season. If he can keep this up. I think 6th was his best up to now. But he's going to have a lot of trouble with that Force India. I think he's a very, very good driver in the No Assist League as well, so he's 5th in this championship, so he's shown just how competitive he is. Oh, Morning got on the grass there, and that's all the invitation Nicky needs to take 5th place. That was just a case of taking advantage of a mistake.
Yeah, Morning went onto the grass bit there and slowed down. It was enough for Nicky to slip straight through.
He almost, I don't know about you, but with Charles and Gamer, it almost feels like a Hamilton versus Vettel kind of moment. Just two of the very best going at it 100%.
Let's hope there isn't a feud like Hamilton Vettel like there was in Baku in 2017.
Although I think there's a
Charles made a bit of a mistake there.
Oh!
Gamer is really close to him now.
Oh, and he's gone wide again. Oh, and this could be... Is this going to be the Kobayashi moment? No, it isn't, because Charles is sensible enough to defend the inside, but he's got it outside. Charles looks like he's starting to struggle.
Yeah, he made a couple of mistakes around there.
Gamer bravely putting his car there. Oh, and Charles is not giving this up.
Wow.
And we mentioned you don't want a Hamilton-Vettel feud. Well, we could very well have one.
Yeah.
Because this is starting to get tasty at the front.
No, nowhere. Charles just seems to be struggling.
Has he taken too much out of the tyres, I wonder? Oh, and out the outside through 130R. He's going to have the inside line for the final chicane.
Surely no.
Oh, he's in contact and he's round. Oh, dear.
Well, the podium interview is going to be very interesting after that.
I mean, I don't want to say this because
Wow.
Charles is in a Williams, but I almost feel like Gamer right now. I'd be like, Stuart's not looking where he's going. Oh, well, that's...
I think that was a little bit too aggressive.
From who? Who are you placing the blame on?
For me, I felt Charles was a bit too aggressive and didn't make enough room, but then you could argue Gaber could have backed out, but I felt like they should have given each other more space, especially Charles.
And that's the
it'd be
end of
interesting
that.
to see what they both say about that. And what did you think?
Well, it was... I mean, they've both been super committed. I mean, through 130R to go side by side is very brave. Gamer had the inside line. I mean, Charles did have to leave some space. It's very tough through that corner, though. Like, I mean, you could argue Charles could have left more space. Then again, you could also argue that maybe Gamer could have waited and set it up for the pit straight. It's tough to say, really. Either way, it might have been a case of two wide cars don't go into quite a well, not so wide corner. But you can see how much Charles is struggling because Gamer's still gaining on him massively. Like, I think Charles has taken on too much out of his tyres.
Yeah, it's certainly possible. There aren't many laps left to go.
Nicky got past Morden, by the way, while that was going on.
Oh, wow. We are sorry we missed that.
Actually, no, my bad. I don't think we did. Morden ran wide, didn't Morden made that mistake. Yeah, my bad. I completely forgot about that. Foxy Red is closing around to the back of Morden, so Morden might have some more defending to do in a bit. I mean, it's quite a big talking point, the Charles Gamer incident, and it's interesting to get their thoughts on it, but I suppose you could argue in one respect, it hasn't technically lost either driver or anything, because they're in the same positions they were. But the only sad part is this robbed us of a titanic battle.
Well, I think if any driver's going to be more frustrated, it will probably be Gamer. Probably felt like he had the opportunity to win. I mean, well, could still happen now. I don't know how Charles' tyres are going, but if it stays like this, I think Gamer will be a bit disappointed.
Joe's retired as well. Well, I suppose now, at least for Charles, he can put it into lead and cruise it.
Yeah, Charles has got some breathing space now, so long as he doesn't make any major mistakes and his tyres are good enough, it's looking good for him.
Choosing driver of the day is going to be tough now.
Well, I did have one driver in mind until...
But that changed your opinion slightly.
My opinion has changed later on in this race, so now I'm struggling.
Be interesting to hear what the drivers' opinions are and if they change your opinion again.
Yeah. Would be fair. To be honest, I can't remember where everyone started as well. So many drivers have swapped positions and been on different strategies. It's can't remember where everyone started.
Well, when there's a position change feature on a detail bit, when Nicky's up 8 places, he's had a fantastic race. Charles started 3rd, he's up to 1st. Gamer was on pole, of course. It was Brady who started 4th. It was Ryle who started on the front row, of course, but his race ended fairly early on. I've got to say, this might not be all over. It depends how much Charles is really struggling. Like, I'm bored of him. Because
that is true.
I'm on board of him. I'm just trying to see if he's struggling. Look, I haven't seen many moments from him. Gamer, on the other hand, looks like he's driving the wheels off it thing.
I mean, it's hard to tell what the tyres look like because they look like exactly the same as they've been put on.
There is a bit of a... Oh, and Charles having a... Yeah, Charles is struggling. That was a telltale sign through turn 2, the back end of the car. Just not sticking with him at all. And he does look nervous.
1 lap to go.
Does look... can you see on board of him? He can barely get the throttle down.
Yeah, he is now. Wow.
He's really struggling.
Maybe it's not over.
Oh, he's again. There's a moment. Those tyres have had it.
He's sliding all over.
Game is sliding.
Gamer should be able to see Charles now.
Well, the only good thing for Charles is there isn't too many corners left. There's quite a few straights coming up, which aren't so bad on the tyres, but he really has. It's hard to believe Gamer's tyres are only 1 lap younger. They look a lot better. Oh, look how much he's... So wait to get... Oh, Foxy Red has crashed on the final lap! Out of 7th place! Oh, that's a disaster! But we're coming towards the end of the race here. I think if it was 1 more lap, I don't think Charles would have been able to hold on. But I think he's just going to hold off Gamer. He's going to win the Japanese Grand Prix, but I get the feeling it's not the last we've heard of this. Charles wins ahead of...
I cannot wait to hear what everyone thinks about this.
Sam takes 3rd in probably one of the most loneliest races he's ever had.
Yeah, well done there for...
Well, he nearly got
cool and
nearly got a win out of that with the shenanigans.
Well, yeah, potentially, yeah.
Credit to James too. He got a podium at Silverstone. He was running well in Singapore until he crashed late on. And he's taken a good 4th place here. Nicky takes 5th, but's got a lot of penalties. Simonen, in fact, jumps up to 5th. Boy Better Know is going to take 7th. Foxy Red, I mean, crashing on the last lap. That's costing points on his return. I don't know if he'll get points for DNFing. I can't remember how it works, but Boy Better Know takes P7. Way ahead of Lipensky, who they were having a very heated battle early on. They finished quite far apart in the end after all that.
See James's car being utterly destroyed after the race. This game has been a bit glitchy.
Let's go on board with Charles, the race winner, but I mean, hopefully we get to hear from the drivers after the race. Do Charles and Gamer want to be in the same party chat after that? I don't know.
Let's hope they all want to have a chat. I imagine Sam will definitely want to chat after his race.
Wants someone to talk to.
He wants to wake up a bit, yeah. After the race he's had.
Well, if he wants to wake up, I mean, I'd suggest he just watches this race back, because it's been very dramatic around him. It's Gamer that takes the win. So Charles takes the win, sorry. Instead of Gamer.
Charles takes the win, yeah. Followed by Gamer,
Just
yeah.
quickly before I invite everybody in, who's your driver of the day?
I'm going to have to give it to Nicky, I think. Although we haven't seen much of him, he seemed to be very consistent and he had good pace around there today. So I'd give it to him.
Yep. I'd personally say Mornan, but yeah, I can see Nicky Nicky Mornan. Both drivers drove really well. I'll get the podium finishers into a chat. Just saw what's it, Foxy Red say, what cruel look. So it definitely wasn't a deliberate crash on the last lap. That's a real shame. Yeah, we'll just wait for all the podium finishers to join and Charles left session, hopefully he joins the party chat. As usual, just make sure your party settings are set to always share. I'm sure that's not an issue, but just give Charles one more minute. If he doesn't join, then we'll start without him.
Oh, please join, please. Please.
Yeah. Sam might wonder what all the fuss is about.
Well, yeah, exactly.
I don't know what happened.
Oh, it was fun from our view.
No, I had to watch it back.
The whole race was just ridiculous. So much going off. Brady had loads of problems.
Yeah, we struggled to keep track of everything. There was so much going off, especially at the beginning and towards the middle of the race.
Right, I get the impression that Charles is not joining. Can't think why. Anyway.
Right. Okay.
We'll start the podium interviews without the race winner. Gamer, you got second place. There isn't another way to start, really. What is your take on that incident with Charles?
Well, I don't really know. It kind of happened really quickly, and all I saw was he got kind of pinched on the apex and then hit his rear wheel and got spun. But I'll have to look back at it. I don't want to take any blame yet in the heat of the moment. So yeah. Apart from that, the race he was really, really quick. I thought when I was in quali, I thought, okay, maybe he's not that quick. But yeah, I got into the race, he was all over me the first stint. I knew he was going to undercut me, but I didn't know whether my tyres would make it from lap 9 because I've not done a proper stint on them. So pit lap 10, yeah, he managed to undercut, and it was proper sweaty for the end of the race. Just literally driving as perfectly as possible, and then yeah, it was literally just very sweaty, and then he made that mistake on one of the laps, so I thought that was going to be my only opportunity, so obviously I went for it and didn't come off my way. But I don't know if he was struggling at the end on tyres or something, or he was just messing about or something, I don't know. But yeah, I was hoping he had a penalty as usual, but no, he didn't this time.
Yeah, from looking on board of him, he looked the last few laps especially, he was really struggling with the tyres, like they'd just gone, he couldn't get the power down at all. One more lap and you would have got him.
Like, yeah, I was on 75% and I bit a lap later. I think it's because we were both pushing so hard throughout the last stint. But yeah, I was just hoping. I thought Sam was going to win it at one point. I thought we were both going to get a puncture and he's going to come through.
I mean, going back to the start of the race as well, like sort of the opening stint, I've got to be honest, I've never seen your car look so twitchy. Is that how it felt?
Yeah, it was weird. I don't know why it was like it was. I don't know. I think it might have been the conditions because it was quite cloudy and overcast. I mean, I've never raced in them. I never practiced around this track in those conditions, so I don't know. It might have been that, or I'm not sure. But yeah.
Another pole position though, your pace still looks incredible.
Yeah, I was quite nervous on that last lap. I lost like a tenth or two in the first sector and I thought that was over, and then second and third was pretty much perfect, and I saw Charles retire, so that was a breath. And then I don't know, the guy in second, I don't know where he came from. I've never seen him up there before, so that was a surprise. But yeah, it was quite interesting.
All right. I don't know what championship standings are because I couldn't see after Singapore. So okay, so I'm pretty sure Brady's not championship leader anymore. That's all I know. But
I think it's either Charles or me, from my knowledge. I'm not sure at the moment.
It's strange to think in a way, but because I think you're the only one of the top four that hasn't won a race yet. But consistency's been the key, hasn't it?
Well, I guess. Most of the tracks that have happened are not my favourite, so hopefully the ones later on can help.
I mean, to recap on your race, I mean, truth be told, other than the lap one, didn't really see that much of you. Was it as boring as it looked from behind the wheel?
Yeah, I guess. It was a lot different from Singapore, that's for sure. Other than lap 1 or 2, I can't remember where it was now. Someone went wide towards the first leg there. That was a bit scary. And then got past and that was it. It was just a boring race after that. I was hoping one of the front two get a puncher, but oh well.
Well, they nearly had something. A puncture.
Yeah, it's very close.
I mean, you've shown us two very different ways on how to get a third place in the last 2 weeks. I don't know what's going to happen next week. You'll get pole, be leading all race, and then you'll finish third in the last lap. I don't know.
I don't think on Hungary, no. Sadly not, but we can dream.
Looking ahead to the remaining tracks, you mentioned you're not really been a fan of many of the tracks this season. Is there any tracks you're holding out much hope for?
I don't want to say because I might put too much pressure on, but Gamer will know one. Gamer will know one of them, that's for sure.
Okay.
They can be surprised when they get to it.
Well, I can't wait for it.
Do you want to disclose, Gamer?
Yeah, I'll leave it to Sam to show you on the day.
Oh, no pressure then.
They won't know which one it is. Next race you win, that's the one, yeah?
Yeah.
Wouldn't be the track you're thinking of.
You never know.
A brief question. I know next season, 2018 game, everything is a long way away, but it's fair to say one weakness you both had this season is with teammates. Any thoughts about next season and what you're going to do in regards to that?
Well,
who knows? I don't even know who's in the league next season. You don't. Yeah.
I might not even be quick.
I know.
Who knows?
We could be at the back.
Yeah. We'll see.
We shall see.
Your teammate left Gamer, Sam. To be fair, Sam, Jar just looks quick. He just doesn't seem to be able to do it over a whole race. For whatever reason.
I guess, yeah. He was quick in Monza.
Pre-season, he was lightning fast.
Yeah, I was quite scared when I saw him that quick in pre-season. I don't know. I think he's had a bit of bad luck.
So, it doesn't sound like you're overly confident about Hungary, Gamer. How are you feeling about Hungary?
I've done. I was all right there, but like at the start of the game, I haven't really raced there since. So I don't know. We'll have to see.
Well, that'll be next week. I don't know who'll be commentating. Don't think it'll be me, but I'll clear that out before next week. That probably brings an end to the broadcast. Thanks for joining us for putting questions. I asked every last question I could to make up for the fact that the winner wasn't here.
Yeah, thanks for joining us, guys. Yeah.
No problem.
No problem.
And
Thanks for commentating.
no problem at all.
Yeah, that's all right.
Hopefully, potentially might see you next week. If not, then I'll be watching. Hopefully, as long as it's streamed by somebody. So yeah, I'll bring it into a stream now. Thanks to everyone for joining, and yep, see you next week.